I'm the cream of the crop.
Hey guys, how's it going? VanillaBeast back here with another episode of The Joy of Logo Creation with VanillaBeast, and this is episode Sand Gnats, and we are picking this one up a little bit into it for time constraint purposes here, just to help you guys out. And I should note, if you're interested in having me commission a logo for you, please just read the description. All the details are in the description. Everything you need is there, including a link to a video that gives more details, so just please read the description and you should have everything you need. Description. Alright, so this Sand Gnat one is a bit of a premium logo for sure. A lot to this one. Not only does it have writing, but it also has a pretty detailed logo itself. So we jump right into this here. This is his face, and we got his hat going on here. So as you guys know, I like to start from the top and work myself down, unless there's a good reason not to do that, but that's what we're doing here. So we start with his face. We created the glasses. His nose kind of face area, he's a bug, he's a gnat, so he's got a round head, and we got that in place. And what I want to do is go ahead and put the hat on over top here. Go ahead and just drop that in place. And once again, as usual, I am looking at an image. This is not something I'm just making up on the fly or coming up with. That's not the best way to go in this MLB editor, because it has a lot of restrictions. It is limited. It's not Photoshop, so you can only do what you can do. So anytime I commission a logo for anyone, I always like them at least give me a general image of what they want, even if you've got to draw it yourself, because usually doesn't work well if you try to make things up in here. So looking at the image here, and we're just getting things kind of close, you know. We're using basic shapes here, and all I like to do here in the beginning is just set things up, and if we need to modify it later, hey, that's fine. We can come back, we can change anything we want. This is our world. We can do whatever we want in our world here. So let's just drop things where we feel like they should be, let them live right here just above his mouth, and if it doesn't look good later, we'll switch it up. And here's the little glare in his glasses here, and of course, on the layers, it's just like how we like to read here in America, left to right, you know. So you want to start on the left with your layers that are going to be underneath, and the layers on the right on the ones that's going to be closest to you, or the ones that you can see. So you always got to color underneath the lines you create. You know, you create the lines, and then you go back and you move left of the lines and you drop colors in. You always got to be careful that you don't color over another color, but once you get used to using this editor, things pretty much fall in place, and it's all about your artistic ability at this point, and what you want to do there. So to make lines, what you do is you just stamp. You hit the square button on a current object, it'll duplicate it, then you change the color of the one in the back and expand it out. That's simple. And we're making this guy's little antennas. They go right here. I used to watch the show The Tick when I was younger as a kid, and I remember his antennas. He lost in one episode, and without them antennas, he just couldn't walk right. He was falling all over the place. So we don't want this Sand Gnat falling down on us, so we're going to give him nice big antennas. Besides that, I bet them lady Sand Gnats like big antennas. They like guys with big antennas. And you'll see here, this is a good example. I'm glad this happened. You'll see this bat's not looking right. It's not looking right at all. So a little trial and error. I said, okay, well, we'll make the end of it there bigger, and then we'll kind of maybe move our curved lines in. And you'll see here, it's just not looking right. And I come up with a good idea, something we can use to change this all together. And you'll see that here in just a minute after I keep thinking about it and say, you know what? Boom. There we go. That's a good looking bat. That's what we want, because the bat's a cartoon. So all I did was copied it there and expanded the black around the brown, and there we had it. We had a good outline bat perfectly. And you'll see here his hands and his arms. We're just going to put blocks out there, just the blocks that don't have edges on them, so they're kind of rounded off. And to start drawing his arm, basic shapes. That's all it is. All art is basic shapes that are detailed at a later time. You'll see here we're just dropping it off. He's kind of got reverse Popeye going on there. His biceps are huge in the small forearms, but they're just ovals. That's all they are. Nothing special, just ovals. And then, like I said, you copy or stamp a current shape, change the color of the shape behind it to the color you want the outline to be, and just expand it out a little bit. Just expand it. You go back and use eraser layers, see that, and punch them in right there and make it look like he's got knuckles. Little circles right here is his fingers. And this logo it was a fun logo. It was a bit of a challenging one, time consuming, I guess you could say. I can pretty much do any logo you throw my way, any logo. Now the editor does have limitations such as no textures. You know, you can't do textures and certain types of shading. We are limited to what the editor allows us to do, but I can pretty much do any logo you guys want to shoot my way. But with the time I have, and you know, trying to get through as many as possible, we have triple-digit orders. I'm gonna either have to turn some of them down because of time, or you know, the price goes up with difficulty and how time-consuming it is. But this is a premium logo service, so if you feel that the price is too high for you, then that's fine. You can just move on. No problems. See there, that's his knuckles. A good logo creator, I believe, is one that can see these basic shapes, and you have foresight into what you can make that shape. What shape should you use and modify that basic shape to get the final version you want. And that's pretty much what this is about here. And as you can see here, things are looking real good. Things are shaping up real good. That's his shoulder there. He's a big guy. He's a tough guy. Wouldn't want to see this gnat in prison. Gonna shape these down, and things don't always work out the way you want it to look the first time, and that's fine, because we can always come right back and change that guy up, just switch it up. You know, sometimes doing these logos, I feel like I'm happy with it looking one way, but it doesn't look like the image. I mean, there's been a couple images I've done this year so far, and I feel like I could have done it better, but I gotta do what the client wants, right? A lot of times people do tell me, hey man, I trust you, go ahead and kind of use your artistic ability and let me see what you got, and it works out real well. But for the most part, I try to do it, you know, match what the picture shows, because some of these logos are throwback logos and some of the writing's real off and the curves aren't right, and it just looks, you know, it literally was made in the 30s. But you guys are paying me, I'm not paying you, so I do what you say here. And as you see, we're just going to do his collar right there, and then we'll duplicate that out, black, make the outline. That's simple. That done that quick. And a lot of this is about line weight, and we're going to put his ribs in there, his six-pack. Kind of just draw them in there. We'll change it up as we move. There we go. See, we'll just kind of move them around. Just use a basic, was it a trapezoid, I believe, there, and just drop that in, and you can see how easy that works as a torso on the way down, since he is a cartoony type character, and that worked real well. We'll come down, and this is going to be his knee. He's swinging a bat. If you haven't figured that out yet, this guy's swinging a bat. He's going to have his left leg up real high, and he's flying. And it's going to say sand gnats on the right there. So what we're doing is drawing his leg right here. And the way I do that is you look, where do lines cross? At what point does his leg cross his body right there? And that's how you know if you're using the proper depth and the proper length of his leg. And we want to color that in right away, because I don't want anything showing behind that. See, I want to make sure that's in front of the body. So once you see where his shin right there covers up the line, now you can go ahead and put that in for his shoe. And you can draw a shoe real quick. We'll get ready here. And we know that everything is properly aligned. Because I think the problem you'll have most is you start drawing something, you start editing it here, and you think it looks good, and then you go to do a different part and it doesn't line up. It's like, whoa, why, his arm is way too high, or you know, his leg is way off to the side. And that's because you didn't check to see where the lines cross. You always got to be aware of where one shape is going to cross, or if somebody's holding their hand up and making a fist, okay, where is his thumb in line with his head? You know, is his thumb where his eye level is? Is it where his hairline starts? Is it where his mouth is? And if you're paying attention to where things line up, that you've already drawn, then you can avoid all those nasty situations. Because this, like I said, this is our world. This is just a happy little logo editing world where you can just relax and create, make these guys, make them come to life. Because once they get on your uniform and this sand gnat shows up on the hats or the jersey or wherever the client puts it here, oh, he's going to be looking fly, super smooth. And regardless if he's going to win or not, when you show up and you come out there wearing this on your jersey, the opponent automatically knows, oh, this guy's serious. He means business. I better hit the corners today. I better paint that black because this guy, he's showing up. And it's all about a confidence level too, you know. Now, I'm not saying if you have an amazing logo like this that you're going to win every ball game. You won't. You're going to lose a few, but yeah, I'll tell you what, you're going to look good in losing. You're going to look real good. And as you see what we did there, that's his body. We're just going to make his belt. Copy that, stamp it, shrink it down, and we got us a little belt. Look how quick that was. Even though this is obviously incredibly sped up, this was really fast. And then we're going to draw his other foot. Very cartoony, almost like a Marvel foot here. Captain America and them guys have feet like this in the comics. And take the white and just drop them in place, boom, boom, boom. Looking good. You see he's kind of flying. And then see, once you draw it, you just can press down on the D-pad, which will highlight every single layer. And then you shrink him and move him where you want. Now we're going to put his wings in, and the wings need to go behind him. So you see what I did there? I moved to layer 1, and I started drawing the wings. Because we don't want the wings to be in front of us, in front of him, between him and us, which would be the layers at the end there. We want them behind him, so that's what we did, and we just used ovals. That's all we did. We made a shape that does not look anything like a circle out of 2 circles. And we're going to draw his veins right there. He's got a lot of veins, I believe that is in there, his wings. Don't might need to have necessarily big. You want to check the depth perception. Just look at the image you're going off of and make sure you're not using it too big there. But his veins aren't too big, although I bet the lady sand gnats there probably like big veins too. And you see what I did there? I pulled out Savannah and I just drew a line. Just dropped a line down and deleted the line when I got done. I wanted to make sure it was straight. If you try to eyeball that, it's game over, go home, you're done. What you want to do is put a line down. Now, cursive not so much because they connect. They have the little connecting deals right there. I'm using 3 different fonts here. Connecting the cursive with each other is a big S. Copy paste, boom, change color, and look at that. Very quick, very simple. And we're able to go ahead and add the colors in the background there. We can do the same thing with gnats, and we want to color the circles in. Those are colored with green. I'm going to get the gnats, a big G, and that font there, and then we're going to bring out the cursive font for gnats. Bring them all out together, resize them together, make sure it's the same size of those above it. See that? Same angle. And what we're going to do is copy and paste all 3 of those and then change the colors. The front one's going to be light brown, the second one green, and the very first one there red, and then just expand it out. Real simple. And if you guys got any questions, you can always feel free to drop in the comments below. Obviously not if you'd like for me to create a logo, please read the description. But if you have any specific questions about this, if you're trying to do something, I'll help out. Just drop me a line below and I'll do what I can. You'll see this logo shaping up real good. And you always got to go back at the end here. Just go over a few things and make sure it's looking good. But there you have it, guys. That about wraps this one up. We're real close to done here. I'm going to put the little lines around him to let us know he's flying around, buzzing around, just being happy. And like I said, if you're interested in logos, contact me. But we'll have a lot more live streams coming up for Diamond Dynasty and card reviews and other videos in this series here. And as always, guys, I appreciate the comments and all the feedback. And thanks for watching. Take care.